People who passively scroll social media feel lonelier than people who don't use it at all. But people who actively post and message feel less lonely.
So it's the scrolling that's the problem, not the platform.
You can spend 3 hours on Instagram feeling completely alone in a crowd. Welcome back to Talking English Podcast. I'm Sofia. That's Alex. Still Sofia week. And today we're getting into something I've been thinking about a lot lately.
Always a good sign when Sofia has been thinking about something.
Dangerous sign, more like. Today's question: is social media actually making us lonely?
I mean, the obvious answer is yes, right?
The obvious answer is always suspect. But yes, start there.
Okay, so you open Instagram and within 30 seconds you've seen someone's perfect kitchen, someone's holiday in Greece, someone's promotion announcement. And your life, which was fine 30 seconds ago, suddenly feels inadequate.
The comparison trap.
The comparison trap. And it's not like comparing yourself to someone you know, where you have context. It's comparing yourself to a curated highlight reel of strangers.
And the brain can't tell the difference. Evolutionarily, comparison was about staying alive in a small tribe. Now you're comparing yourself to 6 billion people simultaneously.
And losing every time. Because you're seeing everyone's best moments. Nobody posts a photo of themselves crying in a car park.
Some people do.
Okay, some people do. But you know what I mean. The average post is not a normal Tuesday.
Right, it's curated aspiration.
And I think what that does over time, even if you know it's curated, is make your own life feel somehow insufficient.
There's a study I keep coming back to. People who passively scroll social media report feeling lonelier than people who don't use it at all. But people who actively use it, posting, commenting, messaging, feel less lonely.
So it's the scrolling that's the problem, not the platform itself.
The scrolling is the problem. Consumption without connection.
That's actually a really crisp way of putting it.
Right? You can spend 3 hours on Instagram feeling completely alone in a crowd.
I do that. I'm not proud of it, but I do that.
Most of us do.
Okay, but here's what I keep getting stuck on.
Hit me.
Before social media, were people actually less lonely? Or were they just lonely without being able to quantify it?
That's the question, isn't it?
Like, loneliness has been a documented human experience for as long as we've been writing things down. Greek philosophers wrote about it. Victorian diarists were clearly miserable and isolated. The suburban isolation of the 1950s and 60s, people had neighbors and churches and bowling leagues and were deeply lonely.
Right.
So is social media creating loneliness or just revealing a loneliness that was always there?
Okay. This is actually where my thinking has shifted, and I want to be honest about it.
Yeah.
I used to believe social media was mostly the cause. We had real connection. Social media replaced it with shallow performance, and here we are.
Right.
But I've changed my mind. I think we were already heading toward this. The breakdown of community institutions, churches, local clubs, neighborhood connections, that started decades before smartphones.
The bowling alone thesis.
You've read Bowling Alone?
I've read the Wikipedia page of Bowling Alone.
That counts. So, Robert Putnam's argument in 2000, long before social media, was that American social capital was collapsing. People were less likely to know their neighbors, join clubs, trust institutions.
So we were already isolated. And then social media arrived and gave us a fake solution.
A fake solution that looked and felt enough like connection that we stopped building real connection. That's the trap.
It's like junk food for social needs. It hits the same receptors as real nutrition, but doesn't actually nourish you.
That is exactly it. Your brain gets a little dopamine hit when someone likes your photo. It registers as approval, as belonging, but it doesn't have the depth of a real conversation.
So we get just enough social junk food to not be desperate, but not enough real nourishment to actually thrive.
And over time, we lose the skills and habits for deep connection because we stopped practicing them.
That's a bit frightening to think about.
It is.
But here's the thing, and I want to make the case for social media for a second.
Okay.
There are genuinely people whose lives are better because of social media. People who found their community online because they couldn't find it offline. People with niche interests. People in rural places. LGBTQ people in communities where they couldn't be themselves.
100%. That's real.
For those people, social media wasn't a substitute for connection. It was the connection they couldn't access otherwise.
So it's not binary. Social media is not just good or just bad. It's a tool that amplifies what's already there.
Right. If you're already connected and socially skilled, social media extends that. If you're already isolated, it gives you a shallow simulation of connection that makes you feel slightly better while not actually solving the problem.
Okay, final boss take time.
Final boss. I'm ready.
I think social media exposing the loneliness epidemic is actually one of the most important things that has happened in modern culture.
Wait, that's a defense of social media?
Partial defense. Because here's the thing. That loneliness was always there. It was hidden. People were suffering silently in their suburban houses and their unfulfilling jobs and their marriages held together by routine.
Right.
Social media didn't create that suffering, but it created a context where people could name it, where they could say, I am lonely, and find others who felt the same way. And that naming, that articulation, is the first step toward actually changing something.
So the crisis became visible.
The crisis became visible. And visible problems get addressed. Invisible ones don't.
That's actually unexpectedly hopeful.
I have a hopeful bone in my body. Occasionally.
The most surprising thing I've heard all week.
The takeaway isn't delete your apps. It's be honest with yourself about whether your social media use is replacing connection or extending it.
And invest in a real thing. Even when it's harder. Even when it requires showing up and being awkward and vulnerable in person.
Which is terrifying.
Genuinely terrifying. But worth it.
Okay, drop a comment. Do you think social media makes you more connected or more lonely? And has your answer changed over time?
And tell us one genuine offline friendship that you're grateful for. We want good news stories today.
Yes, bring us the good ones.
Next week, Alex Week. I'm back in charge.
Oh no.
Topics are a surprise. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.